Oh, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. You've been good to me. I'm just sitting here thinking about it, looking back over my life. You've been so good to me. When I was down and out, I didn't have one day. You made a way for me. Right on time. Lord, you brought me. Hey, you brought me from a mighty long way. Yeah. Somebody said you've been a mother and you've been a father too. You've been a sister and a brother too. You didn't leave me, no. You stayed right by my side. And when trouble came, you wiped the tears from my eyes.
John talked about a holy city coming down from God. Revelation 21 talks about a new Jerusalem. I say Revelation 21 talks about a new Jerusalem. And one day when this life is over, I want to do like I John.
Walk in Jerusalem just like John. Walk in Jerusalem just like John. Walk in Jerusalem just like John.
Let me walk
Walk in Jerusalem just like John.
one of these mornings and it won't be long.
Walk in Jerusalem just like John.
Look for me, I'll be gone.
Walk in Jerusalem just like John. Walk in Jerusalem just like John. Walk in Jerusalem just like John.
Let me walk
in Jerusalem just like John.
Let me walk
in Jerusalem just like John.
See that lady dressed in red.
Walk in Jerusalem just like John.
Look like the man that Moses led.
Walk in Jerusalem just like John. Walk in Jerusalem just like John. Walk in Jerusalem just like John.
Let me walk in
Jerusalem just like John.
Let me walk in
Jerusalem just
I wanna be ready. I wanna be ready. I wanna be ready. I want to be ready. Yeah.
Walk in Jerusalem just like John. Walk in Jerusalem just like John.
Let me walk in
Jerusalem just like John.
Let me walk in
Jerusalem just
I wanna be ready. I want to be ready. I wanna be ready. I want to be ready. Let me walk. Let me walk. Oh, just like John. I want to be ready. I want to be ready. I want to be ready. Let me walk in. 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 Let me walk in.
Good morning. First of all, I want to give honor and thanks to Almighty God for allowing me to have another opportunity to come before you with your spiritual revival hour. After 43 plus years, the Lord has blessed me to be able to come back into your homes. And I want to thank all of you during my anniversary month of August for the gifts, the well wishes, and all the kind things that you've said about me and to me. It meant so very much. I want to thank those members of my workshop, the senior members, the former members, who host the different programs during the month of August here, that I might just sit back and enjoy that month. It meant so much to me, I don't have words to express. I want to thank Mr. and Mrs. Ivan Thomas, the executives here at DETV, Channel 28, for allowing me the opportunity to come back before you after so many years and me trying to go into retirement. There are so many of you said to me when I talked about retiring that all I could do is be tired, not retire. And that was a true fact, because I've been running ever since. And I give thanks to Almighty God. I have with me today as my guest, and I'm very honored to be able to have this young man with me. He has been a pioneer along with myself in the very beginning of the Leased Access Channel 28. He recently tried to retire a few weeks ago, a few months ago. So we're going to talk about that before the morning is over. I want to also talk about, before the morning is over, where we are going with the new spiritual revival hour. One of the requests from the executive director here at DETV was that we resume our operation of the birthday recognitions of our senior citizens. That was something that was dear to my heart and to the community's heart and to all of you who participated on recognizing senior citizens and those who were 100 years and older. We presented them, as you know, with a special gift. That was very meaningful in all the many years that we served you on Leased Access TV. We have Brother Jay Caldwell here with us, and Jay, we are delighted to have you to come down to share this hour with us.
Thank you, Doctor.
For the whole month of August, I just sit back and the different ones host the program. So
Yes.
this is my first since I've been back new. So
All right.
they gave me the opportunity to host today.
Yes, yes.
What
Good.
better person to have than
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, you are no stranger to lease access here.
No, I'm not. This kind of, I don't know, when I sit here with you now, it just, my mind goes back to early years ago when we used to do a segment here at Spiritual Revival Hour. And my mind, of course, is going back now, and I'm just honored to have been asked to come back to the Spiritual Revival Hour. I appreciate it, Doctor. And you know, the thing that we both have been through a lot since last we sit here on the set, but I'm honored to be here, and I thank you for asking me to come, and I appreciate those who have prayed for me through the years.
Well, Bishop Morton was on during the month of August, and she took us back, way back when we was in the garage in Newark. She said it was raining and the roof was leaking, and she had on the baptismal boots. Had to wear baptismal boots.
Yeah, that's my homie. Yeah. My homie. You know, we from down the country.
Well, those were the days.
Yeah.
You know, we those were some wonderful days. We started off with the late Ray Evans.
Man, that's.
He was a giant for us and a supporter, and that's reminiscent of some of those days.
When you say Ray Evans, and And I have to think about the recording that actually put us, the Gospel Ambassadors, on the map was One Day at a Time. Ray liked One Day at a Time. He had us to sing it every Sunday that we came on. And we wanted to record it, but we didn't have the money. So Ray Evans paid for the recording of One Day at a Time. He paid for that album. And that's how we got on the map. One of the reasons why we got known as well as we were known was because of One Day at a Time. And a lot of people did not know that Mr. Raymond T. Evans paid for that recording.
Now that was during the foundation of lease access.
Yes.
That was
yes.
when we was getting started.
Yes,
And
yes.
I often talk about how we got started. The lease access started in order to get African Americans to subscribe to cable. That was the main purpose.
Yes,
now, people
yes,
tried
yes.
to get around that,
Uh-huh.
but that was the main reason for starting.
Yes.
I was hired to do that. I wasn't successful in doing it, so I had to come up with a way to save my job. So I got the cable company to give us some time on
Right.
TV. So that's how it got started.
Right.
Now, during those first 8 years, it was not easy, Jay.
I know it.
We went through some rough times.
I know it, Doc. I know it,
I
Doc.
had to bring the furniture out of my house and to the studio.
Yeah.
We had one camera taped up and all of that. But I want to say this. I've always been able to depend on you
Well, Doc,
to come and share.
we were always able to depend on you. Before we got here, you know, you had us on the radio and everywhere else. And before we were able to record, you would come by the rehearsal, tape us on your little raggedy recorder and play it on the radio. And play it on the radio. So that's, you know, you put us on the map. And then when we got to here, man, we were big stuff.
But those were some wonderful days.
Yes.
Those were days that all of us remember.
Yes,
We
indeed.
had Sister Burgess. Remember
Yes,
Sister Burgess?
yes,
Sister
yes.
Jean Baylock
Yes,
out of
yes,
Belvedere.
Yes,
And
yes,
all
yes,
of those people
yes,
helped
yes.
pave the way
Yes.
for what lease access is today.
You mentioned Sister Burgess. I tell you, she used to play for me all the time. I would just get up and sing, and she would play for me, man. Whatever I wanted to sing, she could play it, and I never will forget her. You know what I mean? For her goodness and kindness to me.
During the month of August, as I celebrate each year, and since I didn't have very much to do this August because the different former workshop people did it all for me, I visited a lot of the high rises and talked to a lot of seniors. I get a joy out of that. As you know, for many years, 37 years, we gave the turkeys away and the dinners to that. So I get the joy out of going, sitting down, talking to the seniors. So within the past week, I talked to a few of the seniors, and I told them that you were going to be my special guest on today. And I got threatened by a couple of seniors that Trent, you're not joking us. If you don't have J. Caldwell on Sunday morning, they say we come looking for you. So I'm happy to.
I'm glad that you asked me. Now, one of my favorite people is in the high rise at 18th and Broome, Brother Lindsay, who used to, you know, we sung together for years and years and years. And he's in the high rise there at 18th and Broome. And of course, we go to the same church.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that he'll be watching your program, and those who didn't think you were going to have me on, here I am, and I'm glad to be here. I'm honored to be
Now,
here.
when we come back, Jay, we're going to go to a song dedicated to our seniors.
All right.
That's one of the highlights of this program.
All right.
Dedicating the different songs to the senior
Right.
citizens. We're going to talk about your life
All right.
service in this community.
All right.
Because you have quite a bit to talk about. And
Yes.
as I said before, a few months ago, or maybe a month ago, I don't know how long it is, you tried to retire. The same as I tried to retire. It was a wonderful banquet.
Yes,
and
it
was.
was.
A wonderful
Yeah,
program.
yes,
I was glad
yes,
to be a
yeah,
part of it.
yeah.
So,
We were glad to have
so
you.
we're going to come back
all right,
after we
Doc.
dedicate this song to our senior citizens.
All right,
we're going to
Doc.
come back and talk about
All
that.
right,
Stay
Doc.
tuned for your spiritual revival hour.
When I was a child, I spoke just like a child, and I had my childish flings. Oh yeah. Now I'm a man, and I've joined Christian band, and I put away childish things. Oh, yes, I did. I put away childish. I like that beat. Y'all like that? You can get your rock on with that. Listen, I like this verse here. David, the son of Jesse, was the little shepherd boy who would one day become a king. When he met Goliath on the battlefield, he had to put away childish things. Oh, yes, he did. Put away childish. He had to get down to business. He didn't have time to fool around with the liar. He had to get down to business for God. He had to put away childish things. Oh, yes, he did. Put away childish things.
We thank you for staying with us, and we hope that you enjoyed the songs of inspiration dedicated to our senior citizens. In this segment, we want to give Jay Caldwell an opportunity to talk with you about his life in this community. I can truly say that I'm one who helped work him for many years. I've called on him for different things, different programs. As you know, for years we served the seniors in the high rises with different programs. We could always call Jay Caldwell. Now, we want to say something here at the outset. During the program, the retirement program at Ezine Fair Church, we had people come from all over the United States to honor you and to be a part of that program.
Yes, we did.
Brother George Whitcher, he meant so much to you. Now,
Yes,
I
yes.
don't know how you would describe him as a part of your organization, but George Whitcher had some serious illnesses come upon
Yes,
him.
yes,
You
yes.
want to talk about that a
Well,
little bit?
George has been my business manager for years as far as the gospel ambassadors were concerned. George went with us to Chicago. We were performing in Chicago at one time, at one year, and George was going to be the road manager for the Jackson Southerners. They were on the program in Chicago. And George rode up with us on our bus to Chicago. That's how George became my road manager. After we got to Chicago and we did the concert, George became my road manager instead of the Jackson Southerners. So that's when it first started. I don't remember the year, Doc, but that's how it started. George rode up with us on the bus to Chicago
Yes.
to be the road manager for the Jackson Southerners, Huey and the Jackson Southerners. And Hugh and I are great friends, and we had a beautiful time in Chicago, but something happened, I don't know what, but George became my road manager, and he's been that ever since.
So George have had some difficulties, some physical difficulties.
He's had some physical difficulties here, for the most part, I think more so than he's ever had here in the last year. And we ask the prayers of those who know the worth of prayer for George Whitcher, you know.
One of the beautiful things at the service, at your retirement service, is the spirit. I sit there listening to the different songs, and the spirit spoke to me. And people say that they don't recognize whether God's speaking to you or not. The spirit spoke to me that all the people were there, the ministers and the singers and the DJs
Yes.
from all over the United States were there.
Yeah.
George was there, and
Yeah.
George had just gotten up from really being down,
Yes.
sick. But
Yes.
he was there at the program trying to do his part
His
as
part.
he always
Yes,
do.
yes.
And the Lord says, why don't you call all these people together
Yes.
and have a special prayer
Yes,
for George? So
yes.
I went over and whispered to my good sister, Bishop Morton. and
Yes.
She said, Twin, you always come up with the right thing.
That was
and
big.
that was a wonderful prayer. All
Definitely.
these people from different places,
Yes.
Washington, D.C., and Maryland,
Yes,
and
yes.
Boston,
Yeah.
some of everywhere,
Yes.
came together with George and prayed for him that
Yes,
church.
yes.
That was one of the highlights of your
Yes.
anniversary.
Yes, it
service.
was. Yes, it was. And I thank you for doing that. And I'm sure that's something that anybody that was there won't forget. That call to prayer for George, because it was outstanding. And I thank my homie Bishop Morton for that prayer. And you guys just came together and did such an outstanding job, Doc. I can't explain it, but I just know that I was glad that you were able to recognize the fact that George needed that,
Yes.
and those people that gathered together up there in front of the church there that night, it was tremendous prayer, and the spirit was so high.
There's no way you can remember all the services that you have rendered for different people over the years. And we're not going to even talk about over the highway and the byways of life. But in the Wilmington area, in this area, you have served the churches and different activities and all that. Can you just reminisce over that a little bit?
Well, Doc, I tell you something that I learned at an early age. If God has given you the gift, maybe your gift might be of preaching, and you never use it, then what good is it? You see what I'm saying? And when I was a child and I wanted to sing, God gave me the gift of singing, and I said, well, what good is this gift if I don't use it? So those who asked me to come sing, I was honored to do so, and God has still blessed me with a not the voice that I had, but a good voice, good enough, I guess. I'm still doing different things, and I've been all over this city, and all over most cities, surrounding cities, singing for people in funerals. And as I told you earlier in the green room, about Preacher Brown.
Yes.
About Preacher Brown. Now, I didn't sing at his funeral, but I was asked to come down and speak, and I did. But I'm saying, if you have a gift, the story is that the song "Time Has Made a Change in Me," one of my recordings, "Time Has Made a Change in Me," was one of Preacher Brown's favorite songs.
Yes.
And every time we would get together on a program, he would join me in "Time Has Made a Change in Me."
He sung that night?
He sung it with me that night.
Yes.
And then they called me about a week later. He'd gone home to be with the Lord.
Now, there are many times you were called to sing at funerals and different cases, people that you didn't know and the people didn't know you.
Right.
But over the years, I'm talking about years now, over the years, through me, people have gone through me to call you
Yeah.
to sing at different things. And
Yeah.
I don't ever remember a time that you turned me down from going to gift service.
Doc, if I was available, I'd always try to do it. My wife sometimes, well, you can't do it. But if I was available, and I think you might have used me more than most. You might have used me more than most. But I was honored, Doc, that you called me, thought enough of me to call. I know the last time you called me was for the gentleman that was on the radio.
Yeah.
What was
John Watson.
John Watson. And I was honored to be there. I was honored to be there. Do what you can while you can.
Well, that's one of the reasons I wanted you to come. We talked in the green room about it. You had your so-called retirement, and there are a lot of seniors who would desire to be at the church, at the banquet, or the program.
Yes.
Couldn't be there.
Yes.
Because of different reasons, they couldn't be there. So
Yes.
I thought it would be good to bring you on the program and to let you talk to them about your retirement and how you feel about it. Now, to me, there is no such a thing as retiring from God's work. You know? People can call it that. There's no such a thing.
Yeah.
But would you just take a few moments out and you have a souvenir booklet also
Yes.
that people can get with a lot of good information.
Yes,
Take a few
yes.
moments out and let's talk
All
about
right.
that.
Okay. Now, as far as retiring is concerned, Doc, had to. I'm an old guy now, and the running the road takes a lot out of you. I have not retired from singing, and you're saying the same thing to some of the guys in my group. Say, you can't retire, Gabby. You can't retire. But you know, there comes a time when you have to. The road is rough. I mean, what I mean is, one of the last concerts I did with the guys was in Atlanta, Georgia. That's a good ride,
Yes,
Doc. That's a
yes,
good ride. You know what I mean? We don't have the bus anymore. So I'm just saying, so you have to use judgment. And so now I can kind of pick and choose. I'm going to do something this month in New York for a group that we used to work with. They kind of having a retirement concert. the Solanaires, and I'm going up there and do a little something. Shaquita Lumsey, the Lumsey sisters, she passed on many years ago. They're having something for her this month. I'm going to New Jersey to help with that. And I'm doing what I can, but I'm just saying to you, Doc, I can't do like I used to. You know, I mean, with the guys, and some of them are sick. Butter, my drummer, he's not well. Gabby's not really well, and in Lamont he moved away. So we can't shoulder that responsibility anymore. You know, once we were in Atlanta, Georgia, and the bus broke down. Well, it's my responsibility to not only get the group back home, but I have to get the bus back home. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I can't do that kind of thing anymore. But I appreciate God allowing me to do it as long as I could, as long as my health was good. But a quadruple heart bypass is no joke. Yes. And I just can't do the things that I used to do. I'm honored that people ask me and still want to hear me and all, and I'm very honored. But time, as we just said, time has made a change.
Now you have a souvenir booklet. Can you talk about
Yes.
that and what that consists of?
Yes, I have a souvenir
how
book.
People can get.
Of course, they did this souvenir book for my retirement service. My wife did this, and these books just came in. They just came in this week, and you can reach her at area code 302-658-0278. Area code 302-658-0278. And she can hook you up with one of these souvenir books. I think you'll like it. It has pictures in it from the program and a lot of the acquaintances that I've known through the years, all the groups that I've worked with, most of the groups that I've worked with, the play, and when I say the play was, Doc, was one of the biggest opportunities that I've ever had in life.
Yes.
When the play, the Gospel at Colonus was the name of the play. And the play started, I think, in 1985. I wasn't a part of it. They called me in 1995 to come to Seattle if I would. And for 2 months, because Mr. Clarence Fountain, the main leader of the Blind Boys, the star of the play, would not sign his contract. He said he wouldn't sign, and they said, well, we got to find somebody that can do his part. And they thought about me. And they called me, and I went to Seattle. And when that play opened in 1995, January, I was doing Clarence's part. And that was one of the biggest opportunities that God gave me in life. And we just did it again last year in New York, in Central Park.
I'm going to ask you to do something that's totally impossible, but I'm going to ask you.
All right.
In a minute time, I want you to say to the seniors and to the community out there just how you felt about the many years that you have served them, the opportunity that the Lord has blessed you with.
Well, Doc, I tell you, as I said a few minutes ago, singing as well as preaching or whatever is a gift from God. And a lot of people want it, but they never get it. It's a gift. It has to be given to you. And I'm grateful every morning that I wake up that God allowed me to sing. I'm sure there's a lot of people who can sing better than I can, but He gave me enough that I can appreciate what He did for me. I was a child, and I had a cousin that could sing like a mockingbird, and I couldn't sing a lick. And I told my grandmother, she said, "What's wrong with you?" And I said, "I want to sing like Junebug." That was we called him Junebug. And she said, "Okay." And she turned around, she never said another word from that day till now. And she's been dead a long time ago. But one day I woke up, I could sing. And I tell you, I praise God for the gift that He gave me. and allows me to do. And it's just nothing like it. It's nothing like it.
Friends, when we come back, we are going to let you know what to expect from the Spiritual Revival Hour here at DETV Channel 28. Here's another song dedicated to our senior citizens, our sick and shut in, and those who are handicapped, and those who just enjoy good gospel singing. We shall return.
I got two men following me. I got two people following me. I got two people following me. The reason why they follow me, I don't know. It's just grace and mercy, and they follow me wherever I go. If I turn to the left, they follow me there. If I go to the right, they're everywhere. The reason why they follow me, I can't say. They've been with me all the way. I got two people following me close. Come on. Two men following me. Two men following me. The reason why they follow me, I don't know. It's just grace and mercy. Follow me wherever I go. Y'all might as well come on and break it loose. Let's have some church. You see, when I woke up this morning, grace was right there. And mercy was on this side. If I turn to the east, they follow me there. If I turn to the west, they everywhere. The reason why they follow me, I can't say, but they've been with me all the way. I got two men following me close. Come on, clap your hands. Two men following me close. Two men following me close. Reason why they follow me, I don't know. It's just grace and mercy. Follow me wherever I go. Follow me. 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 It's just grace and mercy, and they follow me wherever I go. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Hey! Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. It's just grace and mercy, and follow me wherever I go. Come on. Have y'all enjoyed us tonight?
Personally, I want to thank all of you in the community who I started off by saying who have greeted me and back to come be back on TV.
Yes.
43 plus years we have served here with the turkey drive and helping people with in different things, voter registration, voter education, you name it, we was a part of it. But through it all, the Lord blessed us to be able to sit before you today with my good friend, Brother Jay Caldwell, who served me well. Now, one of the things that Jay supplied me with and kept me going, I am a lover of hymns. And this man, I think all of you would agree with me, sang hymns like I never heard them sung before. I've been in church ever since I've been, they call it knee-high to a duck.
Knee-high to a duck.
I never knew it was that big. My grandmother used to pull me up the steps. I wasn't able to even walk up the steps. But hymns, I always love hymns because there is a great message in every one of those hymns.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and I sometimes I've come on the air down and head down and all of that, and used to sing those hymns.
Yes.
At one time, I didn't have hardly anybody but you and Gene Baylock and a few of you, Sister Burgess and all that. It kept me going when times were really tough.
Yes.
And we were really struggling.
Yes,
So
Doc.
I certainly want to thank you for being
Thank you for having
our guest
me.
today.
Thank you, sir.
Friends, we're going to continue here at the Spiritual Revival Hour at the request of the Executive Director. We're going to go into the birthday recognition of our senior citizens. Next Sunday, we will come to you with the plan on how the high rises and all the senior centers can participate. We will have that together by next Sunday. We will give special gifts to those who are 100 years old and older. For 27 years, we did that very successful, sponsored by T&H Bail Bond Company. I know some of you all remember, one of my greatest sponsors down through the years. So we have a new sponsor that's going to be coming on to do that. That is one of the requests of the Executive Director. We're also going to be visiting the high rises and the centers, doing different interviews with the senior centers. One of the greatest things in my life is testimonies. Sometimes testimonies can be greater than a message, than a sermon. So we're going to be going into the different high rises, videotaping testimonies of those who are shut in and can't get out to church and all of that. That is what we are going to be presenting to you here on the Spiritual Revival. From time to time, we're going to be bringing Brother Jay Caldwell on also to play a role in whatever we are doing. Like we say, there is no such thing as retiring. So we're going to be expecting him to come on. I want to thank you again for your gifts, for your prayers down through the years. If it wasn't for the blessings of the Lord, neither one of us will be able to sit before you after so many years.
Amen.
And as I visit you in the high rises and the senior citizen, you bring back to my remembrance of old times. And a lot of you have been with us doing the turkey drives and the feeding of the dinners and all of that down through the years. I just want to thank all of you for the role that you have played in my life.
Yes.
In my life.
Yes.
70 plus years I've been serving this community, and the Lord has still provided me with a reasonable portion of health and strength.
Amen.
And as long as he do that, as long as God continue to bless me, I will continue to give him the praise. Again, Jay, we want to thank you,
Doc.
for
Thank
being
you, Doc.
here with
Thank
us.
you, Doctor.
And we're going to also give you the information how you can get one of the retirement souvenir booklets.
Yes.
Until the next time, on behalf of all of us here at DETV Channel 28, this is your Spiritual Revival Hour.
Thinking about that. and through the rain.
I was too weak
I was too weak
to carry on.
to carry on.
You gave me strength,
Gave me strength,
made me
you
strong.
made me strong.
It's good, right by my side.
It's all right. Through
I was too weak to carry on. You gave me strength and made me strong. He stood right by my side.
have you enjoyed us? Have you enjoyed us tonight? Have you enjoyed us tonight? Have you enjoyed us tonight? Give yourselves a big hand clap for being so good. God bless you. God bless you. You know, we all have loved ones that have crossed over. And there's somebody right here tonight that we won't see each other again until we get on the other side of the river. Can I get a witness? My prayer tonight, God